It's Kris and Caroline Stanbury's Not So Epic podcast.
Brought to you by NMC Healthcare and Cosmesurge. Head to cosmesurge.com.
We're back. Another one. I wear headphones in this. If you're watching it on YouTube, I'm the one that's got the headphones on and your hair looks fantastic.
I don't want to get headphone hair.
Fair enough. Welcome, Kris and Caroline Stanbury's Not So Epic podcast. Episode I've got no idea.
Don't look at me. I'm way behind. I have no idea either.
We're on everywhere. We're on every platform, we think. All right. So we would love you to follow us, subscribe if you're hearing this for the first time. We're on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and Gami. We're everywhere. And we want to say thanks to our sponsors, NMC and Cosmesurge.
We're also going to start being able to take phone calls soon and questions from you all. So at the end of this, really nice.
That'll be pretty cool, right? It's the show that we just really talk about anything to everything, and there's a challenge that's going to occur on this show. I've been told you and I have prepped something up.
We have, and my daughter's taught me all about it. Apparently, it's quite a big thing. I had no idea until you told me.
Yeah, but it's being banned in a lot of places right now, so we'll get to that. We'll get to it.
Perfect.
But I'm very interested to see how you were going to go, Caroline Stanbury.
Not very well, probably. I've got a gag reflex.
Gag reflex, everyone. Gag reflex. I tell you, since we've been doing the show and you and I become sort of friends.
Don't push it, Kris.
Are we friends?
Well, we're getting there, but acquaintances still.
Okay. Gosh, I'm worried. A lot of people, and I'm saying the same thing. I envy the relationship that you and your husband have, Jem.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have been married for how many years?
17, Kris. 17.
I want to talk to Jem one day, and I want to get him on the show because you've been married for 17 years. I'm divorced.
Most of our friends are divorced.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Most of your friends are divorced?
Most of them, yeah. And actually, when we got married, everyone had bets that we'd probably be the first.
Everyone had bets that you and Jem would be the first to divorce, and you're the last one standing, basically.
Right now, yes, it's the wood.
That's class. We are touching wood.
We are touching wood.
There we go. We've touched. Hold on, I'm just doing a level. There we go. We've touched wood, which is all good. Now, okay, so how do you make it last? Because from the outside, you see, obviously, I see a lot of you on social media. Mm-hmm. I don't see too much of Jem.
That's a conscious decision. And I think, that's a question I get asked a lot. And actually, it's an interesting one. And I'm happy to talk about that because I think people...
Hold on. She's happy to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's your podcast.
Well, it's an interesting topic because I think from the outside in, people misconstrue why that is. Is there a problem in my marriage? Especially even when I had the TV show. Yeah. Because Jem didn't appear on that. In fact, he appeared twice. That's because the producers really pushed him to, because they were like, look, the audience doesn't understand where the husband is. Is there a problem? What are you hiding? And look, the reason he doesn't appear on my social media or in my, or in the show or anything like that is out of a choice. I chose to make a public profile for myself. And for some people, it's just not a platform they want to be on. My husband has a very powerful job that he cannot appear in these things.
Sure.
How do you sit in a business meeting and then skip around town with, your wife to the opening of a Coke can and try and make... he doesn't want to be an Instagram husband. He really doesn't. But the great thing about him is he lets me have my life, which is to do all these things and to bounce around that's how I make my money, and he does how he makes his. Doesn't mean that, we don't have a relationship or we don't like each other or, there's something wrong or I've locked him in the basement, people. He's freely roaming around the house.
Do you get people question your relationship sometimes?
Oh, all the time and to him. But, we're very, very solid in it. And I don't think you get to where we are without, first of all, actually, somebody once told me that marriage is more of a business and a contract that should be renegotiated every 3 to 4 years because we all evolve and so do relationships. My husband says being married to you is like being married to 8 different women through his life. Because I constantly change and evolve, which is probably why we're still here, because he comes home to somebody new all the time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I've read a stat that 50% of marriages don't work, and then if I get married again, which looks like it's going to happen, the second marriage has a 33% chance of working.
Oh my God.
And I was just, it keeps going down, like it gradually goes down.
Well,
but then I look at your relationship and my first relationship. I had a 7-year marriage, and it was beautiful and at the beginning, and it all went well, and then it just started to go sour, and we realized that we were two different people wanting completely two different things.
You do know that 7 years is an actual thing, right?
Yeah, bad luck.
It wasn't a book because one person had a 7-year itch, and that's another thing. That really is a time that everybody hits. You need to ride that.
Why? Yeah, what is that? Because I remember you always hear that saying, it's a 7-year itch. And I remember doing the maths and I'm going, hold on a second.
7 years.
I'm on 7 years. It works. So what? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's an actual thing. You need to read the book. I read that book, and that's what Jem and I really worked at it. Marriage is really hard.
It's very difficult. I mean, no, but we did. We went to marriage counseling and we did a bunch of stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we just realized
two different people.
Two completely different people wanting two different things. So, it's 5 or 6 years on now.
Life is short, Kris.
100%.
Way too short to be unhappy.
But Jem is the way that I wish I could take some qualities from Jem and use them, because I couldn't, I'm a little bit not possessive. Maybe it's insecurity, but I always want to know, where are you going? What's going on? Are you here? When are you going to come home? Are you going to be home at this time? Where I feel like you guys are just sort of like, I'm going, I'll be back in 3 days.
That's exactly it. But you know what, Kris? Again, that came from security and a long time together. We didn't get married and go, see ya, I'm going off here and I'm going to do this and I'm going to build, this part of my life and travel. And, this is something that has grown after we had kids, after we built our home life, after we've had I don't think we left each other's side for the first 10 years of marriage. Let's get that clear. You're only 5 and you didn't have a great first marriage. So I understand that, you're not in a position where you go, okay, I want to do this. You're leaping blindly into something.
Yeah.
You're a little bit on the back foot and you're not as secure as you maybe would have been. And I don't have anything bad to go from. My parents are still married. His parents are still married.
That's great.
And my grandparents were married, never divorced. So for me, and also if he wants to leave me, I by staying by his side.
I ain't going to get another Caroline Stanbury, okay?
No, but also, you can't hold on to someone by holding on to somebody.
Sure, yeah, I know. I've learned that. I've learned that as well.
In fact, it does the exact opposite.
When you try to keep someone in, they just want to get out even more.
And a lot of times in life, midlife crisis isn't 7-year itch is a thing. Midlife crisis is a thing. These are all things that everybody has to go through.
Have you had a midlife crisis?
Hell yes. I mean, definitely. I just didn't get the sports car and the.
What did you do? What was your midlife crisis?
Well,
just going out, or
yeah, I probably did too much. I know you think I do now, but I'm actually way more balanced. I come home and I live I am.
This is relaxed for you?
This is relaxed for me.
So when you were going through the midlife crisis, which meant you were just going out all the time, was hubby Jem, was he cool? Or he was like, hey, yo, what's going on?
And he kind of just yawned through it and was like, how long is this going to go through?
That's a legend. He's a legend, because I would have just gone, what are you doing? Get home. What's happening? I can't understand it. Maybe that's the...
No, but he goes, is it my turn? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I'll ride yours.
I think the success for any marriage, and this is obviously coming from myself who didn't work the first time, but I've learned trust is such a big thing. I think trusting each other, having respect for one another, I think is a really big thing as well. I think as soon as you lose respect for one another, I feel like that is when the relationship's out the window,
Also, it is key to a marriage in the end to have your own things, your own projects. That's what gives it excitement to come home and speak to each other. You've got to remember, you and Brianna have been together 5 minutes, 5 years, although it sounds a lot, isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things. When you get to 7, and I always say that to people, don't judge me until you've got to 17 years. When you're at 17 years, you need to have excitement to come home and go, oh my God, we did this. I've done this. I've achieved this. I'm off to Haiti now. Yeah. I'm going on a 4-day car rally with Paris Hilton. Yeah. And
all these things that you're doing. It's your life. Again, I think that's right. Because what I've learned is you don't want to be living someone else's life. No. You need to have your own journey. but then you meet every so often to chat about your journeys.
Yes.
Then you journey together for a little bit. Then you go back out. You do your little things. You come back. Yeah, that's something that I've learned.
It's so key, and it's not like disrespectful, and it's not going, well, I don't want you on it. It's just sometimes you have to have a bit of a journey on your own.
Yeah.
You still come home. The reality of life is still very much there. I've still got to pay for 3 kids to go through school. Still got, bills. We've still got teachers' meetings to go to. Nothing is, we make it work, that we get the fun, the kids, that we, I don't want to be one of those parents that sits at home all day and literally have girlfriends that bash their heads against the wall because they don't get to do anything.
And they just talk poorly about their husbands to their
all
friends,
day
right?
long. And the kids, they resent the kids.
Yeah.
They resent their lives. They, they wish they were somewhere else. I don't get that. I come home and I'm genuinely excited to see the kids and tell Jem everything I've been up to. And, it's fun, and life has to be fun. I mean, my biggest saying, girls, is YOLO. You only live once, and you only regret the things we never did. Okay. And I don't want to wake up when I'm 80 looking at him going, I wish I'd done that. And, that's what he always says to me. If I say, should I do this show, or should I go back to LA now, or should I do all this? He's like, I don't want you to ever look back and say, I could have done it and you held me back.
Good. I like it. Jem and Caroline, couple goals, 17 years strong. Hopefully I'll get there one day.
You will.
Okay, well, there it is. Don't forget, this is Kris and Caroline's Not So Epic podcast. I like the real talk that we just had today. Don't forget, you can follow us. We're on Instagram, Kris and Caroline. That's Kris with a K, Caroline with a C. It'd be so much easier if I just had my name with a C, but anyway.
We can change it.
Kris and Caroline on Instagram. You can get this and subscribe. And Gami, iTunes, Spotify, and it's on YouTube, so you can watch us. Hello. Are you ready for this? Now, you and I were talking about doing a challenge. We've gone out, both of us, to buy our own sort of elements. Are we ready to display them to everyone right now?
We are a little bit. This is a very grown-up game. Do not try this at home, kids.
Okay, bring it out. Here we go. We are doing the Chubby Bunny challenge, and hold on a second. Are we getting this on camera?
We're doing we're evening the playing field here.
So I've gone and got Caroline her marshmallows, and she's gone and got my marshmallows. Your marshmallows are the size that I've got for you. Yeah, you've got bricks as marshmallows. They're the largest marshmallows I've ever seen in my life.
Well, your mouth is the largest mouth I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you. Yours, I've got standard size marshmallows. The aim of the game is who can squeeze more marshmallows in their mouth. Now, we've got to say, if you're watching or listening to this, please be careful. Don't try it at home alone, especially if you're a kid. People have choked doing this. Be careful. I'm not joking.
I'm very sure, Kris, and don't make me laugh too much through this because they're tiny and this could accidentally go down my throat. I'm not sure that this is going to choke you, Kris.
Well, let's see. I know CPR, and
I do not want the kiss of life from you. I just don't. That would be really awkward.
How the podcast would get a lot of ratings. It'd be the clickbait. It would just be the clickbait. You're like on the ground and be like this. Okay. You're going to go first.
Oh, my God.
So I'm going to give you your marshmallows. Okay. We're going to get a nice close shot here if we've got it. Okay, so the aim of the game is you have 60 seconds to squeeze as many marshmallows in your mouth.
Absolutely. Thank God we're sponsored by NMC. We're going to be rushed to hospital quickly.
NMC Cosmosurge. We'll be coming to you very soon. All right. I'm going to get the stopwatch ready to go. They've just told me it's only 45 seconds. So 45 seconds. Caroline Stanbury, the Chubby Bunny Challenge. Don't try this.
Who's counting?
I'll count. You count them. We'll do one at a time. Look at you. She's got 19 in her hand ready to go. I'll show you how much I can fit in my mouth, Kris.
I've got a really bad reflex and I'm not feeling very well. What happens if
You've got a really infection?
No, I don't feel very well.
Oh, okay, you're okay. Now, just, here we go. You ready? Yeah. On your marks, get set, and go. Here we go. She started with 2. Don't eat them. She says she's not going to eat them because of the calories. That's 6. Be careful. I'm really worried. Oh, there's a snort there, everyone. She snorts. Oh, there's 7. That's 7. Just be careful. 8. Just wait till she spits it all out again. That's going to be where it's going to be funny. I think that's 9, 10, 11. That's pretty good. 11, you got about 15 seconds to go. 12, I think, is she done? 13, it's an improvement. She's, no words. That's not really in there. But I think that's about it. We're at the 40, 43, 44. And she's done 13 as she spits out the marshmallows, and that is the shot that we wanted. Well done. You know, the funny thing is here, she's still getting it all out of her mouth. Just put it back here. It's fine. The funny thing is when we were discussing this challenge, she's like, I will not be swallowing the marshmallows because I'm on a calorie da-da-da-da-da-da.
I've been going to the gym every day.
Okay.
You see, that's why he really wants me to do this. He wants to ruin my summer body.
Yeah. LA bod. Here we go. All right, my turn. I mean, this is a joke.
These are like the size of 7 of mine.
If you're watching YouTube, look at the size of this thing. It's as big as my Lebanese nose. All right. I'm not even going to put a clock on. I reckon I get 3 in. Here we go.
1, 2. Oh my God. Oh my God. I hope you're watching this at home. It's like not good. We're struggling to get the third in, people. Chris. Oh my God. He's got 4 down now. 4 bricks in his 1, 2. What? 5, 6. Speak, Chris. Speak. How many was that?
Right.
3?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I'm eating the second one right now. This is very good.
You should have just gone with what I was saying. It looked like 6 to me. I think it would take a bit of time. I was really impressed.
It's a good marshmallow. Well, that's it for us. Subscribe, follow, comment, share it. Tell your people how bad we are.
Yeah, I mean, this was interesting, Chris.
Relationships and marshmallows. It's Kris Spade, Caroline Stanbury, Not So Epic Podcast.
See you next week.
Bye. That's a good one.
That was cute.
It's Kris Spade and Caroline Stanbury's Not So Epic Podcast.
Brought to you by NMC Healthcare and Cosmisurge. Head to cosmisurge.com.